This one, I want to bounce all over, I think. And I'll try not to do it with hate speech and stuff, you know. Try and do this as nice as possible. Your own life is reflection not only of your life, so all of the influences that come in are also can be reflections of other people's lives too going forward. So it gives you a level of understanding. So where do I want to start with this? Okay. Now I'm not going into this because feel sorry for me. Any of that sort of crap. Nah. I'm doing it for understanding. And usually we can only base it upon our lives versus how we see other people's lives. Now, I've seen enough, and a lot of people will say, especially in these groups, that you can't keep our name out your mouth or something like this. Yeah, keep that panic going because it's fueling. All it is because you're panicked. So I am going to be referencing the council, Breckland and South Norfolk. And if any others are acting like this, well, it remains to be seen with other people. And no, you're not crazy. This is going to transpire into a pattern. So, a lot of my life, when I was younger, I had a bad influence, right? With a particular neighbour. Now, I don't know if you've noticed that the councils have let go of their antisocial behaviour and give it to housing associations, yeah?
Yeah.
But they run the housing associations. It's just a way to get more money out of it. Now, I had this pattern when growing up that certain PCs would take over cases from other PCs, right?
Yeah.
So certain police officers, and they had a behaviour, a very weird behaviour. We've also got, we're going to have to go county council as well, and we're going to have to go district council. Again, Norfolk County Council runs and regulates all of the district councils in Norfolk, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. Now, under their watch is 2 district councils. Yeah. County council is responsible for social services, yeah? Mm-hmm. Also, they fund doctors, don't they?
I'm not sure, but
I'm pretty sure they
makes sense. Yeah.
And district councils through county council fund police officers, yeah? Mm-hmm. Now, if you've got a member high up here that's been infiltrated in the county council, also the district councils, the doctor's surgeries, police officers, and it can also spurn on to vets as well. Mm-hmm. So antisocial behaviour, yes?
Yeah.
I don't know any case that's ever been won where the other person's had to leave. How did it make you feel? And I think that when they catalogue all of this information, do you ever wonder why people keep data on people for a really long lengths of time? You ever wondered that?
Yeah, I do.
I mean, it's very strange, isn't it? That they want to keep all of this data on people. Well, data is a weapon.
Yeah.
Name me anything that's beneficial to you in this whole frickin' system. Name it. You can say, well, the benefits. No, that's going to be collapsed down. NHS, well, that's going to be collapsed down. This whole thing was built on socialism. The whole thing. So that everybody could have a decent life. And then somewhere along the line, some corrupt individuals get involved with these systems. So we have certain police officers that say to my mum that they can't do anything until one of her children turn up dead.
Yeah.
Even with it being recorded with the threats, right? Nothing happened. And certain police officers take on that case. They have the same posturing, the same... Birds of a feather don't only flock together, but they act towards one another. You take this, a group gets a nice bandana. All of the groups get nice bandanas. One person in the group wears Nike trainers, everybody in the group wears Nike trainers. One person wears links, everybody wears links. Speak to one person, they talk to you in that sort of like, fucking in it, bruv.
Yeah.
And they're all doing it. Why? Right now we notice that there's a certain level of how much shit they'll take from people. Yeah?
Yeah.
how much courtesy they'll extend to people, only certain people. This starts to fit a behavior profile. You can profile people in this. So when you've got one tactic that you crack on one will work with the rest. Did you know that? So if I profile one individual from a group and I profile them, their behavior stands out. There are small subtleties that are a little bit different, but other than that, the baseline behavior is identical. That baseline of what they'll accept and what they don't. Certain individuals here all have a baseline behavior, all of them. From the cops to the docs to everything else in that. So when I was a lad, yes, I'd go and see a doctor and they'd check my file, yeah, as a kid.
Yeah.
Do you have a social worker? No. You should have a social worker. All of these things. Now, there are frameworks that people are supposed to reach out and get in contact with county council to say that this child that's growing up might not understand difficulties with an adoption and care and background has been damaged, rejection and abandonment issues, right? Hence why the council nowadays like to try and abandon you. Again, records can be used against you. And pay attention to this because we're going to dive real deep into this, right? And certain police officers would ask it as well. You had any stint in care? Or the services, child services or whatever it's called. Yes. Should you have a social worker? Do you have a social worker? No. Oh, rub the hands together. Why? Because now I asked him, why is that an important question to ask?
Yeah.
Because some people will grow up in the world and they might act a certain, and they might need extra stuff to be explained to them. And come on, we're just going to go and get on with the interview. Why? Because it's now easy to manipulate this person, right? Based on a file, based on a baseline, someone that's been in care. Usual baseline has difficulty understanding things, has difficulty understanding abandonment, might be a bit insecure, quite rightly so, right? And what happens to this system that apparently cares and it's supposed to have fail-safes and it's supposed to capture this stuff out? What does it do? Nothing. What does the council do? Put you right next door to someone that is a very violent person, yes? Yeah. Here's a piece of paper. Just tell us how it makes you feel. At what time did it happen? What did you feel? And then they get you into this perpetual state of focusing on negativity. Shouldn't it be the paperwork goes to the council saying, what the fuck are you going to do about this? Step-by-step plan of action. Cool. They knew a plan of action if it was to privatize all of public assets. And then what, are still going to be demanding tax off of everyone when they've got nothing left? Cool, it's getting expensive for police officers these days, isn't it?
Yeah.
Then certain individuals take on cases, right? You'll notice these same faces appear.
Yeah.
And again, they add to the file, they add to the file, they add to the file. They knew full well that they were putting us there. But why? Because when I was younger, I used to start speaking out. In school, I was speaking out. You swing at whole kids. I don't say much, but when I did, it was impactful. Learning about kids in Africa, learning about children in impoverished nations. And then you start brainstorming in that moment as to why is it like this? It was hard. It was hard to see that stuff. Very depressing. I mean, that's what you're showing kids. You might as well just start showing them fucking murder scenes and shit, mightn't you? Then when you piece it together, that our nation is somewhat responsible for this. One of, that we've sat back and did nothing about it. While preaching humanity and everything else, and you start snapping out this sort of stuff. Now baseline, this is going to fit a baseline here, and I wonder if you can fit in who it is. Now, before I'm anything, yes?
Yeah.
This is like prelude, right? I am not something that is anything special in the world, right?
Mhm.
But there are people who have been. Interesting. Now, these systems have failed repeatedly, and what's more, you've got a lot of people that are willing to manipulate while talking about manipulation, that like they know it, that they've put laws up against manipulation. So antisocial behavior now goes with the housing associations, yeah?
Yeah.
You mean to tell me that the council gave up their power to a housing association that's nothing to do with them? Really? No, it's bollocks. They give it to someone where it makes it look like they're doing something, and then this hits a behaviour that who really owns the housing associations? Well, the councils still do, but they're getting people paid at the same time, and no doubt they're filling their pockets in it. So the council at the end of the year have to get rid of a load of money, if not they don't get any more money, yes? Is this why they give each other big bonuses?
Because they know that next year they will get the same money they ask for.
So rather than putting it into the community that paid for it, they're putting it into people's pockets.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, so fast forward on. I then live next door to somebody else who's less than pleasant.
Mm-hmm.
And she is a part of the council.
Yeah.
Same childhood tactics that happened when I was younger were slowly but surely opening up again.
Yeah.
Loud, erratic neighbour.
Mm.
He was very abusive, very threatening.
Yeah.
And what's more, the same cops come out.
Yeah.
He threatened to get my water. I thought this was poisoning or something like that. You know, I have been, I believe. I can't prove it, can I? And there again, when you go to hospital and everything else, there are sort of like, this gets maneuvered out of the way because she claims she's pagan and witch and dark arts and all of this shit. Amazing that, isn't it? But when you claim something like that, wow, the doors are open for you, eh? Remember, this nation is still tied to witches, by the way. Like they're in some sort of debt to them. That's a kind of a weird thing. Now, with living next door to this particular type of person, he was charged up by this person here. And then when they were doing things that were basically would warrant environmental health, you call these out. They also took my information and made me go through homeless application. I did not know his wife worked for the council. I never saw her. And then when I went down to the council in Thetford, they took all of my personal data, most of my shite, and then they called me up on my phone telling me that I'm to leave immediately and that they would help me once I started packing all of my stuff and I left, but I had to give my, basically my notice to quit on the house before they would act. And I was like, but this is not what I've done before. Yeah, it's a change in the system. These people took my number and then utilized the council's power and authority to get me to move out, which would have made myself homeless intentionally. You see, they know how to use the system for their own purpose. Then when I called back because something weren't right, loads of people around me were saying, that's not how it works. That's not how it works. Now, I listened to those people and not an authority.
Yeah.
And then when I inquired more into the housing authority, which is Breckland Council, these people at the homeless department were claiming that they never spoke to me and would never get me to do anything like that. That's not how they work. Then when I tell them that I spoke to somebody, they claim they have no record of it. But phone records, you can't delete that shit. And then the phone records that then come back to my mobile phone all tell a pattern. Now, was this somebody else's phone? Because they called me on a withheld number. Twice.
So you cannot know what number that was.
Well, anyone behind the scenes would be able to work this out. Those records are never going to go away. At the same time as getting in contact with environmental health, which was recommended to do so, so that they could come out and assess what's going on. But they kept coming out, apparently, at the time of these incidences. And then I'd ask them afterwards, they would say there was nothing. It's got a golden witness, and all of this shit. Everything else and all on top of that. Now, again with police officers, right? These ones were corrupt. When I tell them that they were going for my fucking pets, do you know what they said? It's just an animal. I mean, it's just an animal. But this is all logged into the police database. If anyone wants to go and have a pull, you got my blessing. Because it's all there. From the water, which then I end up getting a ridiculous water bill come in. So perhaps he meant something else. Perhaps it wasn't to poison, but perhaps to leak it. Then there were times when we came in and the door latch, the lock on the door, if you pushed it hard from the outside, it opened the door, even with it locked. Then you just push this back on and then you could close the door afterwards and no one. My passport went missing. There was shit going missing. There was stuff just strangely disappearing from my home. And this is with people at the council. Now, the environmental health kept coming out and saying, yes, no, there's nothing we can do and all of this shit. So when begrudgingly they had to. So one particular night, he let me know that he was coming out. So for the whole night, I filmed, photographed, and did everything I possibly could. When he left, so-called, I didn't know. They had to let them know that they were coming out. But she works for the council, remember? Buddy system. He claimed, in writing, a matter of fact, he wrote a statement via email saying that he didn't see anything. That there was nothing to warrant any further investigation. And this has been going on for a very long time. Mysterious pets die in certain mysterious ways. I can't say it's mysterious because I wasn't exactly fucking doing autopsies. I can only guess. To me, it looked normal. But the gesturing, like the water, like everything else, little phrases were coming out from him next door. He knew about my care records. Kept saying, poor fucker doesn't even know who his dad is. And then the cops would say, how do you know he's on about you? He kept mentioning phrases that were in my care records. Just shit he had no... How do you know that shit?
Yeah, how do you know anything? Any details?
So to have my care records said back to me, and some vulgar stuff. He didn't work for the council as far as I know. She did. I found this out afterwards. You mean to tell me that even those records are not safe and I've had 3 breaches on them to date? 3.
Yeah.
Not very good at looking after all of this data, really, are you?
No.
First time, it's unprecedented. Second time, it's no good to use the word unprecedented. Third time, you're taking a piss. Now, this particular environmental health person came out and no, there was nothing. And I got him to explain himself to me. All via email, and then I sent him back evidence that contradicted what he was stating. Checkmate, my friend. So, that told me a lot more than what was going on, that it's corrupted. The whole thing is corrupted, and this beautiful system that's supposed to work for us, what a load of tosh. So now the councils have moved their environmental health into housing associations. They control housing associations. Here's the deal. You let us use this, and we'll do this. And you can do this. You can get away with putting people in shit houses. You mean to tell me that you can go up to the fucking housing association, stick a house on that is not fit for human habitation, with environmental health officers that don't do anything, even when they get called out afterwards. They're like, you sure it ain't a you problem? This is another thing that's in common. Their baseline, everything is a you problem. They use reverse psychology, manipulation. Now, another thing that happened in that time, I had a car, many cars. When they jacked up my car, because it was making a strange sound. I'd already been out with this was with my daughter.
Yeah.
He's already got my car multiple times, but again, my word against his. That's the difference there.
Yeah.
And the police are like, just get some cameras, just get some cameras. I did, and it caused the biggest shitstorm you could ever imagine. My car is lifted up, and the whole wheel, suspension, everything in the car, on one wheel arch, drops out. The whole fucking wheel. All of it. The connections to it and everything. The whole thing fell out. I got this guy telling me that I should buy a lottery ticket. And you had your daughter in that, mate. You notice this little pattern here? Now we're going for cars.
Yeah.
So then that gives me a little bit more of an indication of just where this fella is from. And let me tell you about your life. Your life. So you're talking about feeding everyone, finding a way to make water for people in third world countries. What we should do with waste food, perhaps we should order it, you know, because you're starting to run an empire better than the people that have claimed to be born into running empires, that have inherited empires. Because something in their family bloodline has just got to be the best ever, hasn't it? Council members, Clark, and even go and stick this shit in museums as well. Look at that.
Yeah.
These people don't like you. Extremely high water bills, extremely high electric bills, extremely high this, anything, just all at once to throw at your life. You know that getting into debt is profitable, don't you?
Yeah, well done.
So if you're someone with a large amount of money, you'll build a fireplace, yeah? And you would burn stuff.
Yeah.
If you're someone who's on lower income, they give you storage heaters.
Yeah.
Then the council come in and give it a bullshit energy rating. That the house with the heating and the water is going to cost about this much per year. Times it by 7 and you might just be hitting the margin. Times it by 7. Then what do? Naively, you believe the authority, yes? The local authority, which isn't an authority. There's no authority there. None. Diminished. Gone. I'd never listen to you if my life depends on it. And literally, it has done in most instances. You're now formulating a baseline that's eerily similar to somebody else that died accidentally, right? They've cut my brakes. They've destroyed my fucking car wheel. To the point where it fucking falls out. You mean to tell me that just happens? They've smashed numerous amounts of cars.
Yeah.
Cut brakes. Had another car that completely stopped working while I was driving, and I couldn't even move the steering wheel. You mean to tell me that all of this shit, all of this is just accidental, is it? Another one where my ABS brakes completely lock up to the point where the car is now skidding. And the only brakes that you've got are on the front. Before I took it to the garage, ABS. After I took it to the garage, no ABS. This particular person that took my car away from me, he decides to scrap it. I call the police. He never even told me that the wheel fell out. He never told me any of that shit. None of it. I call him up and say, where's my car? You're taking an awful long time, aren't you? I scrapped it. Wait, what? I've got the lock. How did you manage to... Wait, what? Why did you scrap my car? Mate, your fucking wheel fell out. It was just a wheel though, isn't it? No. The whole lot. Can't remember, I used some mechanical terms. You mean to tell me that that's usually how? Is it bolted together? Yes. So in order for that to fall out, there must be bolts missing then. Well, yeah, why have you scrapped it?
Yeah, why wouldn't you
That's
bolt
evidence.
it back?
Then I call the police. Then I'm put through to someone else, which then gets put through to someone else. Well, what's going on? Yes, a garage has taken my car and has decided to scrap it without the logbook. Yeah, that's just a civil matter. That's a civil matter. So if I go and break into the garage and steal a car, is that a civil matter as well then, is it? No! You should be doing something. This is theft. This is illegal, criminal damage. Well, what was the reason as to why? Because apparently my wheel fell out. Well, he did you a favour then. And you're not concerned that this could be an act on my life then? You don't want to investigate that. You don't want to check in to find out how bolts apparently either A, didn't get put back in my car, or B, someone has taken them out. That puts a little girl and myself in danger inside a car. A fucking child? And all of you lot in the system that apparently are here for people won't do shit. Because it might involve someone from the council. Or more like you know about it and this is how you all operate. People sever my brakes. You'll be surprised. They work for a bit, then they just stop. And the police reckon that was because you go over speed bumps too fast. Have you seen the way buses go over speed bumps?
Yeah.
Have you seen the way fucking racers go through and hit those speed bumps really fast?
How many cars when you just walk and you hear doosh,
Doosh, doosh. Their brakes are fine. No, what, you mean to tell me that speed bumps break brakes in a town when speed bumps are there to ensure people's safety? How does it ensure people's safety if speed ramps are breaking people's brakes? So what, they can't stop the car?
Yeah, and
20 mile an hour and they hit into people? Oh, but that's okay, they were only going 20 mile an hour. I mean, are you fucking for real? So you put in a safety measure to stop people from speeding to protect the public, so you say, and yet you're then telling on your next breath that these things break? Brakes? Which then is full loss of control of a vehicle.
Yeah.
Anybody else I say this to and ask them to, they laugh. Do you know how many times I've fucking floored it over speed bumps?
Yeah.
I would like not to know, to be honest. Well, I can put it this way, they don't break your brakes. You know, fuck up your car underneath. And, you know, yeah, they do that. Fact is, I wasn't, but it doesn't matter though, does it? Again, this copper is automatically assuming and putting reasonable logic. And then I was like, why don't you take the car away and do your DNA analyst stuff on it then? And look for fingerprints and stuff. Oh, yeah, this is a standard cop that knows nothing about investigation. We have one of the best investigation units here in Wyndham. So big, so much money it costs the taxpayer. And do you know what they tell me? This copper tells me? This certain cop that came out because you mentioned the word harassment.
Yeah.
And like we knew, he would come to you for that because he thinks you mean me. But just in case, we'll go and send one of our own that really knows how to bullshit their way through it. What, to just guess? Guess, this is how you investigate crimes. This is how you know people commit murders. This is how you work things out, is it? By guessing. Do you know what he told me about the whole fingerprints and everything else? Because there's grease, they can't look for fingerprints.
And they can't look that
Apparently,
it was cut.
You
They
can't
won't
see
that
fingerprints
either.
if there are grease. That's bullshit. I thought it relied on grease. You're looking for a grease print. You put the powder over the greasy finger, and the powder absorbs, or the grease absorbs, and then you take it. Oh, there you are. And you mean to tell me you can't do that under a car?
But he didn't want to even have a look
He didn't
if
even want to have
it
a
was
look, did
cut.
he? No,
Yeah.
he
Yeah.
yeah, it's like he already knew. Again, baseline. That's a behaviour. That's how they always come. So when people try to fucking stab me, when people are going for my cars, and then when people are cutting my brakes and destroying my cars,
Yeah.
they've never once caught anyone that's done it. Not once. 11 fucking cars. That's 11 crimes, but these motherfuckers know who killed who and put them into jail.
Yeah. That cannot find
Now
something.
that poses two things for me. Question one. Are these people innocent? Question 2, or did you actually do forensics, but you didn't on me? And all of this.
Yeah.
But these people confessed. I can get people to confess to things that they haven't done. It's quite easy, really. Especially when you're saying that you'll be punished twice if you don't tell the truth. So just play along with it. Why? Because you'll get less of a sentence if you do. If they're already gunning for you and they're adamant that it's you, what's people going to do? They're then going to look at the two evils, aren't they? What are the two evils now staring at them? Reduce sentence and comply, or higher sentence because, you know, even if you didn't do it, you did not doing it has been removed off the table now. You have done it. Now, which sentence is it going to be?
Yeah.
And if they're adamant, they're going to find whatever it is to fit you into the, you know, if you're a blank shape, they're going to make you fit into a jigsaw pattern and then place you into it. Because this does two things, doesn't it? If they can't actually get the person that did it and they've got you, no one's going to ask questions. More money, more power. A whole investigation unit like that. And they don't want this for investigation. Yet, if it's me, all of these troubles seem to keep following you around. People keep saying the same things about you, don't they? All of these cars that seem to be damaged around you seem to be telling a story, don't they? All of these council members that keep being around you seem to be telling a story, doesn't it? See, don't work there, but it works here. Doesn't work for them, but it works for you. Do you know the last person that got me thinking about this? Princess Diana.
Yeah.
And she knew. Question is, how did she know? I know she was murdered. It's all made to look an accident. Horrible as it sounds. This is Princess Diana, isn't it? I can fit this to my own life. I'm not the same as Diana, but I have the same mindset. She was more out there. She was getting this shit done. I'm starting on that journey. Do you think that sends a signal somewhere? And that certain people that just don't want that are going to do anything they can to stop it. Because the truth of the matter is, you're making us look bad when in actual fact you want to take a mirror, even though the mirror is a reflection. You want to take a fucking video image of yourself and say it to yourself back and forth in a constantly self-fulfilling prophecy. When you say you are making us look bad, make sure you point into the lens, yeah? Go like that.
Yeah.
And then watch it back, because your own self is telling you the truth then, isn't it? Car brakes? Check. Wheel falling out? Check. Children? Who gives a shit? Check. You know, this opened up something to me that they didn't care. The council would host a building like that and put people in it. They put you next door to bad neighbours. Again, this was trying to relive my past as a child. Childhood trauma. It was all logged. My mum logged all of this shit. How did it make you feel? How did it make Terry feel? How did it make your kids feel? How did it make this feel? How did it affect them? How did it do this? That person had been in there. The council and everybody else said, we've never had any complaints of that before. Then you believe them, right? But my mom was questioning it. What did she question? Other people that lived there. Oh man, their tales would make you cry. Actually can give you a lot of strength, because what they went through while dealing with that was huge. Was massive. Their kid lost control of a car. Now it's starting to make me think, did he? Or was his car tampered with? By the same... Because his profile, the old neighbour of profile, fits the profile of this person here. You came into it towards the end. You got the tail end of it.
Yeah.
You noticed it. Other people that came round mine, again, they think I'm a loner. These people. Now, what about Mus? Mus, you see, you can't prove any of this stuff, right? With your pets meeting an early demise or a strange demise. It's under strange circumstances, and then they begin to hint about it, and then they try and convince it that it's a you problem, right? It's all you, it's not anything else outside of you, it's you. Mus's first attack Actually, no, that was his second. When we were at Orchard Way, he had this peculiar stab wound. But what was the first thing that happened? And then there were saffron workers all at the back. Like, they gravitated around the area, right? They gravitated around the area.
Yeah.
Plus the watching of the particular neighbours. Now, whether that is something or not, I don't know. Pay attention to it. You must be doing a job because you've got a lot of money.
Yeah.
And because you like to build this money into stuff, you seem to have a lot of money for not doing very much. And just to sit there staring at you anytime you come out. Literally full-blown staring at you. Fucking idiots, mate. And then what? Saffron? And then the holes through the hedge? You're not sticking anything through there, are you? And then the woman, when I was uploading a video, held this thing up towards the... What the fuck is that? It looked like a camera with the big circular... It looked like a satellite dish on it. And she put it down. It was big, quite big, handheld, 2 hands. And she put it down, and then she tipped something into a bin when she saw me gazing lovingly at her. The fuck is that? And then the video wouldn't upload. If you remember, it'd take like hours for the video to upload. There were a lot of cats around the area, weren't there? And all of a sudden, the cats disappeared. Mus was then going out, and then he came in with a hell of a fucking hole in his chest.
Yeah, and then it was big.
That's your first attempt? It's not your first, no. That would have been your second. Maybe even your third, but again, it's so hard to prove it. But look backwards now. How it all looks like one big fucking accident, doesn't it? You might want to get your cat, but these bastards won't go and do it. They used to be more brazen and brazen. So it gives me an indication of how you would do things. He might be starting to suspect us. Maybe we better not be attacking that way. And you know what, you're going to tell me that out of all the cats in the area, Mus met his fate with a fucking what? On the end of a what? Bit of glass somewhere. How? How the fuck did he manage to do that?
Yeah.
Bit like my cats that got run over when I was younger by a cop. Because my mum was starting to investigate and starting to... He had no remorse, by the way. That's one thing that my mum always took with her. That he had no remorse. How did he know where to go? How did he know to go straight to that house there? How did he know where that cat came from? That's the next bit. We didn't know him. But yet, funnily enough, he knew you on a very intimate level. Do you get that's not usual? Anytime you found a cat, what happens? You have to go door knocking, right?
Yeah.
Do you know whose fucking cat it is?
No, we don't.
Interesting, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
And then when they do their inspections and find a cat, do you not think that this doesn't update their little secret fucking archive that they've got of updating it for people? Got a pet. What kind of pet? You need to tell us because we need to know in writing. What, just in case you start rising up and then we need to kick your ass down? And this makes me wonder about other nations. Because if it is here, and this is what you're doing, which I believe in my heart of hearts, this is what you're doing, you try and keep people distracted by kicking them down all the time before they rise. Because it becomes, after Diana, it becomes a lot more harder to make that shit look like an accident, doesn't it? And again, ask anyone out in public whether you believe she was murdered or whether she died of an accident, because I don't believe that was an accident at all. The way she was acting that night. And then they come in and fill in, oh, what about the caravan that we got? Oh, fucking right. And we were putting the gas on, yeah, for the heater, and it was working really good inside there. It was brilliant. And then a few days later, it starts flamethrowing at the bottom, and it's got all jagged fucking... Someone snapped the pipe.
Yeah.
Teared it, actually. It looked like it had been chewed through. There's another one, in it. And it started flamethrowing. What do you reckon would have happened if we'd have died in a car crash? They'd have dressed it up to something, wouldn't they? Perhaps I was drunk driving. I was 10 million litres over my driving limit. He was intoxicated with cannabis. What do you reckon it would be? They would lay a narrative on, right? It doesn't stop there. Their work is still yet to go.
Very old car, you know.
Old car.
Yeah.
We have to get in more MOTs. Look how good we are for you. We're here to protect you. We're going to make MOTs every month now. Something that would have benefited them off of somebody else's death. This is how they operate. It never stops. What happens if the caravan would have exploded then?
Poor maintenance, not checked.
Yeah, it wasn't checked. This is why we should ban caravans inside houses and stuff like this, or in gardens or whatever.
Check them much more often and charge money.
You know.
Yeah.
And you wouldn't believe that they wouldn't set fire to a house or a flat of someone's that's playing around with electrics just to blame it on that. You ever got any bought out fire chief? I studied how to become a firefighter. Studied it. Grew up around it. I know an awful lot about what fire chiefs have to do. In fact, I've got more intimate knowledge from multiple people that do the work. And they can only speculate down to a certain degree as to where the fire starts. But what causes it is not it. And some of these individuals have been bought out more times than they care to admit. In fact, they do admit it. It's almost like they're trying to offload their conscience. And then there are certain times when you explore it with them, and you go down, you got to explore with these people.
Yeah.
There's been two types. One is balls and brazen offering out a payment to say that it happened like this. The others are everybody else around putting little interjections in, suggestions. Then it becomes the unwritten rule around the group members. Maybe I should write this in my report. That's what made me start tailing away from it. Because that's not what I wanted to get into that for. Sounds like a conspiracy theory, doesn't it? But Diana, she wrote a fucking very interesting letter to the papers. I've wrote to the papers. What happens? Nothing. But they're controlled. Then who become your CEO members then? These individuals. The ones that make things go away. Now with the police, right, it was interesting. One particular cop was meant to take the case. There was a name and different thing like that. And then all of a sudden somebody else took over it. This one was more like bah, 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 bah. And I knew they wouldn't tell me truthfully if I called them up and said, yeah, I've got this problem with these police officers over here. So I had to be more tactful, more cunning. So I called up for hypotheticals, and also because I'm learning and this, that and the other. Speak to a traffic cop, one that deals in traffic. I've got some intimate knowledge of what I've gathered. And I speak to the cop about what they do in certain situations as a traffic cop. And they tell me it pretty much as what is well known for people. Then I say to them at the end of it, yeah, but there was this everyday Bobby that did this, this and this. And he's like, I reckon he pulled the phone away for a bit. You should have told me that before we started the conversation. Oh, just sorry about that, but why? Why would... Because, you know, it's like... It's ratting out your own. I can't question what another officer has done. He's got his own discretion. Yeah, but he ain't a traffic cop. That's like me coming in and telling all you lot how to operate. Do you think that's right? I'm not going to comment. I didn't think so. It's all right. Some of your other colleagues already have commented. So I'll take that. as that is the blank statement that actually means this when I find out. That behavior I can put a marker on, I can put a flag in it, and I know that that statement, what you're saying, has been scripted, but the truth be told is all of this shit that they've told me. And they feel manipulated in that. They really do. I haven't manipulated anyone. I'm trying to get to the bottom of it. It's like fire brigade coming in telling, so you know how easy it is. Then I speak to one police force versus another police force, calling to another police force and ask for a different police force entirely. Run a few scenarios around them. And they're letting me know what usually would happen in that. Then we go into the police force that I'm with, and they're not doing any of that. Why the discrepancy? Two forces apparently following the same fucking rules, the same law, and one would operate like this and one would operate like this. One's not saying it, one's acting it, and one's saying it how they would act. Why the discrepancy there? Now that is interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
Attempts on life. You'd be surprised. Something with my heart in that house as well. Did the paramedic turn up? And I had that incredible pain in my chest. Paramedics turn up? Did they fuck? It sounded like someone in the RAF. You know the way they speak into the very high. It sounded like someone in an aircraft, an RAF, and a fighter jet. That's what it sounded like. It didn't sound like that was a control room. How do you know you're safe? Well, get up in your airplane, off you go. Now, my mum reacted. She did. She lost her shit. He nearly killed 8 of us kids. 8 of us. He mounted a path and grass verge in order to fucking do it. I will never forget that day. None of us will. It's something that we speak about, although we stare out when doing so. Too painful to remember, right? You're walking with a truth that you know. Any justice come for you that day? Nope.
No way.
Based on our reflexes alone, something was with us that day. If we hadn't have scattered, when someone comes to attack you, you know about it. There's a certain stance. These individuals know it, hence why they're so manipulative about it. That's why they do it subtly, you know. Slowly erosion. Pathetic. This answers another question, which we'll get onto in a minute. If they're doing it here in Britain, what are they doing to any other nation that's ahead? Honestly, you mean to believe that they will not be doing this to anybody else? Hitler. Look at it. Look at the way you again, that pattern, right? Is it potential that he wasn't going to be warmongering, but he was going towards the stars? Shit me, after what he was building, he was fascinated in alien artifacts. Alien meaning what he was thinking, meaning what? Alien? Space? Moon? Beyond?
Becoming bigger.
Making
stronger.
metals stronger, you need more people, you need this, you need that. Experimenting. Well, they're experimenting on their own people, right? Lock you in a classroom. Actually, it's not a classroom, it's called a cloakroom, actually. It was small. Lock you in this particular building. Giving your parents permission that it's okay. Making you go without education, and then at the end of it, they blame you for the lack of your education. It's you. It's you. It's because you were fucking about. There you are. Here's your report. The reports wrote like you were still in the lesson, but I wasn't. See, this taught me in data gathering. They sign off on report cards. Apparently, I was the most goodest person ever. But yet, in my school report, I was disrupting. I was doing this. I was stopping the teacher from getting on with the lesson. They all seem to follow that. He's very intelligent, but this, and this. Yeah, I just displayed some of that intelligence in front of my mum and family. It turned, right? It started where I was going to sit down for the next 4 hours listening to how much of a fuck up I was, and my mum losing her shit at me, and quite rightly so. But again, how do you prove that? You're just a child. You're just this. You're just a kid. Remember when that guy went for my sister and I pulled her out the way in front of a bus stop? Half the people there didn't want to get involved. Why? Because they were protecting their children. They knew that if they had made a statement, that could be their kids next. And rather than go into that firing line, they removed their children. They were not speaking to anyone. They were not going to give a statement. And even if they did, the statements weren't correct in order to protect their children. That's why they do that. That's normal human behavior. The rest that did give it, again, were they watching at the time? Yes, they saw the aftermath, but not the moment before. And again, that's if the police would go and investigate certain individuals, and others they wouldn't. Or they would look at family. Oh, they might be telling lies. Are these people liars? They want you to fall into that category because then they can dismiss it. Well, it makes their life a hell of a lot easier, doesn't it? And again, with this countless amount of this neglect going on, that particular day, after my mum had finished with him, there was other mateys coming up the road after him. That's what made him high speed and drive away. And that's what made him stay away, and that's what made him never come back. Because it wasn't just a particular child now. There was up to 8 of us. Varying ages, by the way. Again, as long as his children are all right, as long as his kids are protected, as long as he's protected, he's going to be as ruthless as he wants. But because these children are not his, fuck them. Where else do we notice that behaviour? Again, with somebody that was with the council.
Yeah.
Married too. I think he does more, if I had to guess it.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't think he's going to be paid for that job. I think it's going to be a hidden payment. It's going to be there, but it's going to be called something fucking mundane.
Yeah.
Oh no, look, see, there is nothing here. Sure. Payment don't look like that though, does it? That leaves paper trail. And who looks for paper trails, I wonder? Who looks for money trails? Most crimes follow a money trail. Well, if you know that behavior and that tactic, what can you do? Well, you can give money in a very different way, can't you?
Yeah.
It's dressed up in other ways. And it's not money. If you can have access to most things that you want, live a good life, take pressure off, be part of that system. They don't give money where it leaves a paper trail, hence why that they get on top of it and start using it as a tool to find all these other criminals. Look at the money trail, look, oh, that's why they did it. But in these ones, I ain't got a fucking clue, mate. You seem to say that a lot. When it's me, if I do any of this shit, even remotely say anything like that, I'm thrown in fucking jail. Oh, they get me straight away. But then,
No.
there's, again, a difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Now, who was Princess Diana going to reach out to then? Let's go realistically. Who's she going to reach out to? What, the police? What, the courts?
Mm-hmm.
And then the courts ruled in favour that I owe that money. Yes? Not when I didn't have any money. No, they waited before hounding me for the money, even though I was paying it as best as I could. Oh, that would have taken you up to October. And then as soon as I finished going at Saffron, oh, look what come in. Notice how the shore comes in? Oh, God, I bet they couldn't wait to deliver that. How would you know about that? Well, because we were checking your file. Why were you checking my file? Why did you get involved with that? And in the High Court, or the court that gets involved and rules, what have you got that database for then? You can't search in the police database where I've made references to that before and how ridiculously high that bill was.
Yeah, it was.
After someone making threats. There you are, they made good on their threat then, didn't they? But that doesn't prove anything. It's interesting that words don't prove something when it suits you, but if it's me saying words, it proves everything.
Yeah.
Do you not notice that?
Someone says
and then the
something.
courts are ruling in favour of this without ever checking a single record.
Yeah.
Because nothing is beneficial. It's all detrimental towards you. Baseline behaviour. 2-tier. It's actually 3-tier, but still, we'll just settle on the 2-tier. How are people taught how to be racist? Well, we got an education system, ain't we? How do we teach people to be racist? Where did that come from? We go from nations that were travelling around the world, sharing all of their knowledge with one another, teaching each other, fascinated with one another, listening to one another, and then it goes from that to hating anything else that is not your own. Where does that come from then? And it's funny because everyone thinks here on this island that we're all so together with each other, but we ain't. And then they hide all of this stuff, thinking that it would cause disruption. Why would it cause disruption if it ain't true? And my favourite is, the reason why you've got agoraphobia and that is because you just will not try. After how many years of fucking engaging this? Pulling out those report cards and giving those to Mum felt great. It went from that many hours of misery and listening to all of this shit, and if I spoke up against her, she would roar at me because she was listening to what was being told to her. She was doing as she was told. She's believing what adults don't lie to each other. You believe that cops won't lie. Why is it when the cops fuck up? Let me give you an example, right? If someone in my family, we're all together, fucks up, this is the same process. The copper fucks up, you go to the police, and they go, we'll investigate it. So next time the cops come here and want to know something about something in my family, oh, it's all right, officer, you fuck off. We'll investigate this. Trust us. We got this. We're going to go and investigate and find out what happened. We're going to do it all to the book. Now, what happened? Oh, this, and this. No. It like this, and this. And I'm going to take that, translate it all, tell him what he needs to say, or her, and then we're going to give that statement to the police, and then that's job done, yeah? Cops investigate cops, yeah? Well, then leave my family alone, and we'll investigate it when you've got an accusation you want to make. What about CEOs then? Sit at the top of a company, and you are to direct the company. But loads of people die because of you. And no one is to blame. Yeah. No one's to blame. It's like the company is running like a headless chicken. These people didn't know what they were doing. God, I can't make them do anything, can I? Well, you can make them get into your fucking building and work for bollocks. You are apparently leading the company, but when something fucks up, deliberate...
You are innocent.
You're innocent. It weren't me. What was it? It was the company. That's why they don't want you to have companies inside a house. Again, good old council, right? And if this is government too, I think you've served your purpose, haven't you? Yeah. Government investigates the government. That's interesting. Councils investigate the council. Cops investigate cops. But what about the IPPC? The Independent Police Complaints Commission? or committee. They're all ex-cops. And what does a cop know? Well, what do they know? What's their profession? How people commit crimes. Now, are they there for government? And it's not the cops individually, because I'm sure that they probably individually wouldn't want to do this, but birds of a feather, you have a baseline behavior. Why would you want to investigate crimes in the first place? So you gather information.
Yeah.
And with that information that you've gathered on loads of people of how they commit crimes, does that mean that you know how to commit crimes without ever being caught then?
Yeah, because you know the
Because you're
rules from
studying
the
it.
other side.
So we got this, right? Doctors have never ever experienced mental health in their life, but know how to treat people with mental health. And they say it's because they've studied people with mental health. Means that they know how to help people with mental health. Come again. So if you can study that, and now if you're a psychologist, does that also mean that you know how to damage people?
You know both sides, don't you?
Yeah, you do, don't you?
Yeah. I'm quite sure.
And this one's paying this much, but then again, in a money system, can I pay you extra money to target one person? Welcome to the club.
Yeah.
Kids will do anything for the taste of Dare Elite. You should change it. Kids will do anything for the flavor of money and power. So if you investigate crimes, you know how to do it properly then, don't you? By studying crimes. What's the perfect murder, everyone asks? Ask a cop. You should know what a perfect murder is. No, we're good people. No. You know what a perfect crime is. You know all of your own tactics, followed in with everybody else's tactics, and you know what's outside of those tactics. So you know how to evade those tactics. Fuck me, you're teaching me as well, aren't you? Apparently, if you just tip grease around everywhere, might as well pressure up a can of grease and just start spraying it everywhere after you've committed a crime then, yeah? Well, you might as well, mightn't you? Won't be able to get any DNA or fingerprints from it, can you? Because apparently there's grease. Okay, so commit a crime in a chip shop then. Then tip out all of the chip shop and you will never know who did what then, yeah? Especially when you get it nice and hot and pull that off and then you leave. It's going to fry a lot of things. You'd probably even take the cadaver and go and eat it in a celebration somewhere like the old tribes, yeah? Bon appetit. And Princess Diana was making waves, yeah? Like her and many others. Martin Luther King. Obvious. JFK. Fucking hell, that's obvious. There's been many around the world, right? So Russia have opposition, yes? Don't they? Do they have opposition that come up in Russia? And you will say, I bet it was something to do with Putin that assassinated them. Which you could do, yes? You could look at it that way. Or, let me just throw one in the works for you. How do you not know that somebody else didn't go and assassinate that person to make it look like they did it?
That is also possible.
Look, this thing keeps happening there, doesn't it? Look at that, it keeps on happening there. No, it must be you. Yeah, but could it be the same process that these things keep happening around you, Terry? So it must be a you thing, and they're the ones that create the issues, layering on more and more stacks to the ever-growing shit pile for you to hold on your back so that you have a whole lot of mental health to get through. And nostalgia, right? Maybe I should have fell in love with that place in Bunwell. Oh, it reminds me of my childhood. Oh, look at all that nostalgia. That person must be the devil. Why? Because I'm enjoying this. And then, is it suffering or can you get nostalgic? Fuck me, this reminds me of my childhood, this. It almost looks like all of the information that I gave you in 2011. You got to remember that. I planted that information. I was already tweaking then to the way you lot operate. And I gave it to you. And then I got psychology saying you must get rid of all the things from your past. Declutter. Come on, look. Come on. Yeah, what? You want me to go and chuck away all of that? All of it is negative. Come on. New you. Let's go. Come on. Get what I mean? Now, if I'd have thrown away all of that evidence, I never had quite guilty fingers. So you were planning this in Griffin Court. You were planning this when you were moving the tiles. You probably made the people at Griffin do that. Or maybe they were in on it too. Same group. Removing all of those tiles.
Yeah.
Then refusing to fix it. It's all right, it's an old building anyway. We don't care about these, even though you've wrote the laws that state that that would be illegal and everything else. But only if the tenant does it, not if the landlord does it. Because you begin talking and you begin moving and you begin creating a better world for everyone, showing them how easy it is to get water. Showing them how easy it is to make food, showing them how easy it is to use the fuel that you burn to make energy, to then convert into hydrocarbons that's going to go and feed a load of fuel, fuel for plants. And then you're going to eat what that exhaust is giving, and in the process, you're going to tap into the energy. You can already put this biome in space, by the way, it would work. Got to make it on the Earth first. Don't forget the bees. Because everyone's throwing up in newspaper reports. What about the bees? They're killing all the bees. And then the government are like, look, we're going to tell the farmers not to use this type of pesticide. Who told them to use that pesticide in the first place? The very same ones that are now got a solution to the very problem they created. Well, if you don't care about bees, then fucking hell, other people's children aren't going to be that. That's how you lot operate. You've got to be able to numb it down. You've got to be able to numb it down somehow, so you have to suppress it. And you're educated to do it. That's the problem. You can't see that you're doing wrong because it feels so good because you've been taught it. People back in the day, look at slavery, for example. That was taught to you to be normal. That's the correct way to behave. And these people were taught that that's the correct way how to respond to it. Educate both, and what do you get? A sort of imbalance. Martin Luther King woke people up. And what, we think that he was assassinated by somebody in America? Are you sure? Take your pick. How many people around the world were watching that? How many people did that wake up around the world? It was like columns. It was beautiful light spreading, I must admit. It's beautiful from a distance. How much did that change? And you think here would want that? And it is possible that perhaps the ones here didn't do this to Diana, but she already had a suspicion of who was going to be doing that. Turn your heads again. Stop what you're doing overseas and come and face me for a second. Because someone just walked onto your web and is beginning to tug. Whilst you lot pretend to be spiders, the real spider has just walked in. Vibration and all. The web being the internet. This is what you want to hide. This is what you don't want revealed. Why? Because it crushes you, doesn't it?
Incriminates.
So, that would lead me to believe that Martin Luther King had more attempts on him than ever before, and this is what charged him up. This is what made him more determined. He saw it. JFK. I find secrecy repugnant. Oh, I noticed that. You were trying to say something, but you didn't say it. You were saying something. I wonder what your backstory is. And these become little lessons. What about certain people that apparently commit suicide? It's usually related to suicide, isn't it? Chester Bannantine was going on about some stuff that he wished he was a narcissist. He wished he didn't see the things he saw. And then he commits suicide. He was cracking. What was he getting? What does he know? What did he know? It's right to assume it, right? He knew something. Rappers usually do. Do you see? And then most people are caught in the middle. That's why you can't hate everybody. They're taught it. They've got to unlearn what they've been taught. And it happened very beautifully in this Martin Luther King story, didn't it? Then JFK did it. You see the same thing ignite through the minds of America. It was beautiful. It's like burning a sock. I don't know if I got anything to show it with. I don't know if I want to. If you ever got a sock and you light it, all of the bubble bits go around the... Have you ever seen that? It's beautiful. It's deadly. You should always do it outside and in control. Understand that, yes. But if you flick a spark to it, it covers across the whole of the sock. It moves around the sock. It doesn't burn, not in the way that you would think it. Yes, it can do. Again, one particular Guy Fawkes night I will never forget. The way the flame danced across the sock. It didn't dance. It just, when it first snapped into place, it burnt off the bubbles across the sock. And then there was another one. And then everyone was like, do that again. That's what the light reminds me of in humanity. It's the same as that. Someone sparks something and it waves. It doesn't hit everyone at the same time. It hits a few people, and then these people spark out a wave to their friends. And then because there's group mentality, it works in an opposite way. That one person in the group's like, that's actually pretty good. And then someone else is like, hey, what? I thought we were... Yeah, it's pretty good. Another person in the group cracks. Another one in the group cracks. Another one in the group cracks. And then before you know it, that group is now fully on. It sparks. That's the divine essence, that is. That is so powerful. And when it shifts through the minds, you can't stop it. And then it goes around the fucking world. If the streetlights could pulse one after the other in sequence and NASA was watching from space, that's what it looks like if you were to visualize it. It ripples through the minds. It's in the quantum realm, but it still sparks the light. Princess Diana was doing it too. She was consecutively doing it. That is impressive. Oh, that, I fucking loved that. She was like, it was like one spark, another spark, another spark, another spark, and these were pulsing. She got it. She got it very quickly. And then her life ended?
Yeah. And she was just 36, I believe.
That is horrible.
Yeah.
There's more to that. Everybody feels it. Of course you do. Everybody's talking about it. And then I might try and slap you down that that's disrespectful to someone's mom and this, that, and the other. No, it's not actually. It's disrespectful to sit back and allow those bullshit stories to go around about her. What, everyone's forgot? Where's her statue then? Where's her obelisk? Where are the lives she touched? While the rest in this fucking bullshit empire just sit down fucking drinking their cups of tea, sitting back, claiming that they're the ones that are it. She moved this fucking empire. That's what she did.
Not only this one. She moved people around the world.
That's what people fell in love with. And admit it, King, that's what you saw. That's what you felt. That's what you loved for your children, wasn't it? Did you truly love her? That's a question I've got. Did you truly love her? Or was it just to cash in off the light? To breed with it? To put it into your children? Was it true love? I don't know. I don't know. Or was it just to breed with a force that you could see? She was like this a long time. That doesn't just happen overnight. Martin Luther King, like it a long time. JFK, a long time coming. Again, that part with Russia, it may be, it may not be. But the thing is, we should all err on suspicion and caution about it. Not to make assumptions too quickly because a newspaper is telling you that that's what's going on. No, you have to look at it. You have to go within and look at that. Can it be that way? The answer is yes. But also, can it be any other way? Of course. Don't narrow your field of view. Can it be somebody else that keeps doing this in order to anger people here to say that, look how that is not right? Because perhaps they're going somewhere. Who knows? Who knows what they're planning? I don't know, okay? But they could be going towards space, could be kicking a new empire off or whatever it may be. America going somewhere. Where are they headed? Elon Musk and Zuckerberg and everybody else in that Bezos. And this is going somewhere. Where is it going? I don't know. Let's wait to see. Where are we going as Britain then? This? Stay stuck in this? This? Inheritance after inheritance? And they'll say, but Russia's inherited. No, I don't think it is. Didn't Putin's background come up from nothing and began climbing? We don't hear about that. We never hear about that. That is learnt what? That's never learnt. That's not inherited. He went through a lot of shit jobs before he reached that one. America, I don't know, again, but it looks like people can vote in and you hear stories, $2 in the pocket is what my father had. And you're his son and turned out to run the country. That's fucking... Yeah. Hats off to both sides. Why? Because it looks different. What's it here? Clark, 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 Clark in museums, just Clark after Clark. Well, you're born into this family, are you? And then as you're born into that family, you get to run the councils. Kings, 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 inherit, 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 inherit. I'm not saying it's inherently bad, but what? If I fail, we all fail. But we don't want to fail. That's tough shit. Get your head down, you're failing. Maybe it isn't like any of this shit that I'm saying. But proof is in your actions, isn't it?
Yeah.
Proof is in the pudding. Government, how can it still keep doing the same shit of targeting the most weakest people in society and claim that they were established to protect the most weakest, vulnerable people in society? Your excuse for government to be even built was to take care of all the paupers on the streets, was it not? Give them jobs, workhouses, and different things like that, wasn't it? At the same time, we were taxing, and then what? Building all of this infrastructure to then what? Privatize it. And then one party leaves whilst criticizing the other one for attacking people on benefits, and then are more ruthless. And then are more ruthless, then are more ruthless, then are more ruthless, while complaining, where is all this money going? Let's just add up all of the money that's been made on the energy company. Never mind the aeroplane companies. Who made Rolls-Royce?
Here?
Here?
I don't know.
Maybe I could be wrong about that. Not sure. Is that engine a part of British history? The turbine? Now, was it Rolls-Royce that actually made that, or did they steal it from somebody else, would be the question. Someone else made the turbine and they took it and propped someone who was worthy enough to run there. And again, once again, we've got another bleached history that would say this person created it, when the true history is somebody else made it, they stole it, shat all over this person, probably assassinated them in a weird way. Oh, they had a candle and it fell over, sir. All right, calm down, everybody hears it, they fell over. So there was some story that was going up in Trump's last wife, yes? That she walked upstairs with stiletto on. And then fell down it, yes?
His first wife, yeah.
What did that make you think first off?
I didn't believe it very much.
Right, you didn't believe the story. Now where was the suspicion? So you don't think inwards after you read a report?
She didn't look like someone who would fall.
Okay, most women probably don't walk upstairs with stilettos on, that's for sure. So that sticks out to you. That's why it's made it into the paper. Secondly is, a paper is often trying to shape your narrative. It wants you to think something. So am I right to word it like this? You might be a bit unsure to say it, and it's okay to be wrong, and it's okay to see things in a light that is being blown that way, where there's smoke, there's fire type thing. Not always. There's no fire in a joss stick. There's no fire when you've blown out the bloody candle and it still smoulders for a few minutes afterwards. Not always where there's smoke, there's fire. Where there's smoke, perhaps there was a fire. Anyway, never mind that. Did you think somehow it had something to do with Trump? Possibly. Did something like that come into your mind? It's okay to be honest. No one is going to target you for being honest.
With him or with her last partner?
Or last partner or something, right? Because usually what we're taught in most crime videos, which has influenced you, and it has, that usually the first person that they look at in a murder scene is who? The partner or the
former
ex-partner.
partner. Yeah.
Then something like this happens where it looks a sort of staged event, and whether it was or wasn't. Total respect for her and her family, Trump and everybody else in that situation. The fact is that certain things can spin narratives that make you think something because you've slowly been taught it. Where did you get that behavior from? Well, you've been watching a lot of crime stuff. But if you don't watch it where you take a step back and ask the or, but could someone else, maybe it was an accident, right? There's one. Maybe it's made to look like suspicion on Trump.
Yeah.
It's possible. Or her ex-partner or current partner. It's maybe. Or could someone have orchestrated it to make it look like a number of these situations?
Yeah, that's also possible.
Which then what would that do if it starts wafting towards Trump? What takes an impact on him?
Yeah. Maybe.
Credibility?
Yeah, exactly.
Trust?
Yeah, for that word, yeah.
The higher up you go, the more scandalous the shit becomes. Why? Because you're worth knocking down, but they can't do it openly.
Yeah.
Right? So, literally have assassinated Trump. If that had happened, there'd have been fucking anarchy. It missed. And if it would have hit. Now, what is that regarding? Now, some people don't like him and some people love him. It's just like Marmite. You're a bit in the middle, right? Some people like your flavor, some people don't. Write it out. Someone else will come in who's more preferable for you. That's the way it is, yeah? But the more higher up you go, the more accidental it has to look. That was not accidental. Now, what reason was behind that? Now, was this person, if you were to speak to him, is his psychology that he can be easily manipulated? And you can. There are a few people that you can manipulate in society. I think these people end up in prison for a reason. Then once they've committed murder, the ones that don't make sense, the ones that even the individual can't make sense of. Why? Because I happen to believe that you can hypnotize people. And it sounds like one big conspiracy, doesn't it? It's not. It's not. When we look at my mom and the way she responded, look at that. That become her trigger. So she needed working on that. I spent a whole lifetime diminishing that in her, calming that down, breaking it, buckling it. Because she's open, vulnerable. What do people need to do to cause her to have a reaction? Go for the things she loves. Go for the things that she'll protect. Go for the things that she's got this profile now.
Yeah.
Well, try her, because I don't think it will work. So under the right circumstances, she's going to react. And any other mum in that situation will also react the same. But they're going to go at someone who might not be the one that's doing it, but has been left in that building because people are starting to say things, right? You come home, what did you do at school? I said this, they were doing this, they were talking about this, mum, and I said this, and this. Is there a chance that my mum is going to hear that and probably talk to the family? And then the family might work in a pub and talk to people in the community? And before you know it, everyone's thinking, yeah, that's not a fucking bad idea. Change begins to happen. When you do that, it's called making waves. You're exploding outwards, and then they tell their friends, and their friends tell their friends, and then they embellish onto it. They want to be a part of the story building, so they might add a little bit more in that you didn't think about. That's how great ideas they're usually stem from that. It's like a snowball rolling down a mountain. The more it hits into, the more people build the snowball. Because they want to become a part of the idea, and before you know it, it's massive, unstoppable. Anyone that tries to stand in the way of that is going to be sucked up into the whirlwind, or they're going to be obliterated in its path, depending on how big the snowball gets. So do you see how they go for smaller snowballs first? Because they can take that sort of impact.
Yeah.
The big impact they can't. The big impact, if they had assassinated Trump, that would have been a big impact. Rather than it being a little snowball being thrown at them, it would have been a fucking super colossal one rolling down a mountain, getting bigger and bigger until the target was found and... Now, anyway, with this person, could he have been psychologically tampered with?
Yeah.
Was he pressed on the right education to learn how to act normal in an abnormal way to everybody else, but take out his education and you don't see it? Where did he come from? Did he hear something that he didn't like? And those things were the triggers. And Trump, being Trump, was going to say those triggers. Oh, not because he wanted to trigger anyone, but because he's got that sort of way of leading. He's going to be leading over there. And yeah, sure, it's going to hurt some people and it's going to really help others. It's just the way it is. But this presses buttons into people who have been taught certain things that will cause them to trigger. Now, who taught them that is the question. Is there anyone that can teach them that? And then who are they linked to? Follow the paper trail. Follow the pattern trail. Most people say follow money. I say follow behavior. Follow the patterns. They lead back. Diana threatened the throne here. Martin Luther King did. JFK did. We plan to go somewhere else. And Khrushchev. Don't underestimate it. Those two reverberating fucking mountains. Maybe we should join together. Maybe. Maybe we could do more on less. I happen to agree with that. Yes, it's logical that the more people that you've got coming in, could you imagine combining EU to that and then binding in China to that? Oh, the potential. We're going to be filling the rocket anyway over here. You got any payloads that you want us to throw up for you? Oh, yeah, we got something small. Yeah, we can add a few £100 of fuel to that. We can get that up for you. You're going to be less likely to sabotage each other in that situation. Why? Because, well, that's both your payloads going on that. That's a lot of money. Well, it's not. It's a lot of energy, I should say. And then NASA shut down after the Challenger, yes? Mm-hmm. I'm still unsure if that was an O-ring or something hit it. Which then would make me, when rockets go up, secure an area of the most advanced snipering rifles. I would be securing that whole area. Sounds like a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, people used to go and watch the star, didn't they? Closer or further, so it was not probably completely off limits, certain distance.
Because once again, human behavior, out of respect, we will ground the space program, and then it has a result, doesn't it? What's the result? Well, we never wanted you to go to space anyway. And a teacher in space of all fucking... What are they doing? They're making us look shit! No, they're not making you look shit. You are shit!
Yeah, if there was no Kennedy, would there be any attempt from the United States? He was young and he was kind of progressive.
Look, the two nations that were the only ones that actually didn't go into putting IBCM rockets on the end of it. They did at the same time because other nations were, and that puts pressure on it. But they really were going towards space. Oh, fucking hell, what's here? We were putting fucking payloads on it, right? Weapons, war, destruction, misery, all of that shit. They were like, I wonder if we can get that to go to Venus. I would love to have been a fly in the room for that. That would have turned a lot of heads like, wait, what did you just say? And never mind that. People had to discuss that like, oh, we could actually do, yeah, yeah, I suppose that's possible actually. Oh, fucking hell, revolutionary. Do you see this? All this shit triggers something. And you'll say the space race. I think it was healthy. It was almost like sports day. One was sending over this, the other one was sending over Sputnik. It was kind of funny to see that, like, sort of, And then Kennedy's like, yeah, damn right, we're going to do something else to get you with that. And both of them were assassinated, and what happens? It kind of stalls things, doesn't it? America continued on. I think Russia continued on as well. Not 100%.
Yeah, they did, yeah.
But they never talked of joining. Then a little bit after that, Challenger went a bit awry. Then that grounded that. And then it could have... And people are like, do you know how many billions that cost? It doesn't actually have to cost any money at all. Money should not be the object. I mean, we're all taught that money. Oh, fuck me, if humans wanted to get together and fucking make that shit happen, oh, they would. Again, I think it was, some people said that it was to distract against the racial tensions at the time. But I thought that there was that particular lady, I forget her name, she put an awful lot of data into NASA.
I don't
remember her name. Anyway, it will come to me. It will come to me. It's not going to come to me now. Yeah, I'm too elsewhere in the mind. I'd have to travel all the way back just to get it. No, I'm going to leave it. I'll study into this and then I'll go a bit more into it with the names and everything else, dates and times and stuff. But so far, it's just the point of this that is what I'm trying to make. What's the point? Everything always looks like how it may not be. Diana was making waves. Landmines, right? Landmines that we had all been told had been cleaned up. We were whinging about the ones that we were finding here from Germany. The mustard bombs and this, that and the other and whatever else it was. All that horrible shite. They were the ones that were going to be doing this, this and this. They were the ones that were going to be using it for payload and war. And they were using it to kill their own people. And look at this. And then transpire till now. What the fuck has Britain done? Divided people so much, the birth rate is beginning to subside, yes? And once it drops past a certain level, forget it. It will not recover. Mark my words, when it hits a certain level, there's no recovery. You won't recover from that. Hey girls, you gotta play hard to get. You know how it is in the playground, you've heard it. You gotta treat 'em mean to keep 'em keen. And then boys are being taught, if she really likes you, she'll ignore you for a bit. And now what is there? That's called harassment. And she's sitting there going, why doesn't no guy like me? Well, I fucking wonder. Heroism is to abandon your children, isn't it? To be the lone wolf. To abandon your kids and family. I once read this very interesting plaque. It was embroidered, I think, where someone was passing down some knowledge from the older generation, let's say. And it would be quite sad to understand that that person's probably not alive anymore because of how old that was. When you calculate how many years worth of marriage they had. And I said that you had to make it work. It was like a, I really, that did something to me reading that. Yeah. Our relationships were so together. The past generation, that was sacred, wasn't it? Relationships, love, working together. And now, what's it about? How many notches you can get? And again, is it really about how many notches you can get? Or is it because I don't know whether you're treating me mean to keep me keen, or whether you are generally ignoring this because you don't want it, but do want it, but don't know how to approach it? And then what date sites are kind of weird. And then Ted Bundy, rightly so, ruined the whole blind date theme, which I think is a really good idea. I think if we had some things like this, make it fun. You don't think you could start getting people in relationships? Now you've got relationships counselors. What? Get rid of that shit. Put it in the school. You've got information that you've monetized that you've taken away from the kids. Wait, what? Are you going to start fucking prophetizing on sex education soon, are we? Going to remove that as well? Oh, it's not a bad idea. Fuck off. That is stupid. Marriage counselor. Wait, what? Do you know, with Osiris, I could have ended many businesses like this. One that would teach you psychology. One that would teach you in relationships. One that would look out for you. And everyone was like, it's a spy device. Oh, yeah, it has to see you to know you. That's how things work. You know, deep down, you're being spied on anyway, internally and externally. Can I show you on that?
Yeah. All the data collecting on you.
Oh, not... Yeah, I was speaking from a divine perspective on that one. And yes, you're absolutely right with the data that's collected on you is used to... It can either be used to help you, but name me one person with all that data that's been collected that has ever been helped. Unless it's going to help the system somehow. And what are the government going to be taxing for? Once they've privatised the roads, privatised the trains, privatised the houses, privatised the water, privatised aeroplanes. Don't get me started on aeroplanes. Because apparently Rolls-Royce and they were the ones that made this and that and everything else. How much money was that bringing in on holiday makers? Well, it's still bringing in the revenue, but to someone's pocket, rather than a nation that could be using that money to build a space program that's apparently expensive. No. Space is not expensive. Governments are. Councils are. If that money that was still coming in off of those assets, we'd already be to the stars and back by now. We'd litter this whole fucking universe with shit. Because that's a lot of money. How much does the plane industry make? How much does the train industry make? Buses, planning permission, council tax, rent, energy, water, road tax, sugar tax, tobacco tax, alcohol tax, added value tax at the end of your shop, corporation tax. They're giving less and less, but still want more and more. Why? What are you planning on doing? Making version 2.0? No one makes a second version. That's why they wanted to buy the water company. If you'd have told them it's not for sale, the people would have told them better for you if you'd have gone to a vote. It ain't for sale. Oh. Now with all that money that you've got, that you're going to apparently buy this, go make your own. And by that time, knowing the way this nation works, they'll be kicking it out from underneath them so they can't. Oh, that's a good idea. Let's head to the water company. Look at what we did. They'd be peacocking around it, wouldn't they? My ass! Look at my ass! They would, wouldn't they? They would be peacocking around all of these, but no, they're not. What are you peacocking around? Why don't we privatise laws next? Companies can steal from you, and it's a civil matter, but you steal from a company, and it's a criminal matter. Now that is fucking interesting. So all the people that pay the council tax that then pay the courts, It's to protect them from who? Themselves, other people. A corporation that doesn't pay that has access to it. Oh, fuck me. That's interesting. So who is heading these companies? I think it's members of the council.
Or family members. Or
Yeah, well, they wouldn't give the power out. They don't give away power, do they? No, they make it in-house, don't they? Here, you take the antisocial behaviour. That will solve it, look. You'll do a shitter job than we ever will. And what? That doesn't give the housing association the ability to choose whether they like someone. And if they don't like someone, they can move them into a situation that they know they don't like. As opposed to evict that person. You know, there's a lesson that can be learned through this eviction process, by the way. It's not to do it to be cruel, it's to do it to teach a lesson. And with that lesson that's taught, people will be like, yeah, they will change naturally for the better. And it will be better for them as well. Because it must be disturbing them too, you know? That's it. These people are not broken. They just need help. And sometimes it's going to have to come this way, and then it makes more sense to offer the help. Osiris, you could put this into a computer robot that watches over you, yes? In all the rooms. It hears what you do and makes a reminder that decibel reading is loud, that it will be going through the walls. Personally, why build houses with weak walls? You would make sure, a law that I would bring in is all new houses, they're going to be soundproof all the way down the middle. Why have we built so many houses here in Britain where we can hear everything that's being said? Whoa, that's because we want to, guess because you want to listen to what people are saying. Why make bricks that absorb moisture and sweat it on the inside, that cause damp? Why are you doing that? Oh, because it's cheap, innit? It's like, we've been doing it for 1,000 years, like, you don't want to better the system, and then someone else comes over with a better idea, and then you quickly steal it, fucking patent it, and then collapse that person down, and then we can go back to doing what we were doing. Fuck them. Oh, look how expensive it's going to be to fix that house. Yeah, where it doesn't need to be. We could make it in such a way where we just remove what's broken and replace it with something that's... detrimental environmental health. Detrimental environment health. You're detrimental to the environment's health. There you are. Isn't it?
Yeah, something like that.
Acronym. I'm good at those. But there you are. There you are. I think I'm going to unwind from this one a little bit. Oh, it's the most... Anyway, so I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to start to... Yeah, so debts are profitable, by the way.
Yes, yeah. But not for you.
Ain't no good going after a corporation for debt, is there?
No.
So how do you recover that money if they're not going to pay for it? Well, you put it on the poor. What if I can make their energy meter count more than the energy they've used? Put them in a building where I know it's going to drive up more energy. This debt is then they're going to have to pay back if they get a job. Mm-hmm. So right before government put you in a job, they lace you with a load of debts first. Mm-hmm. They find them from the past, even though there's time limit and everything else. They find all of these, and some of them they've created and they know it. And right before you get a job, they layer them on you. Mm-hmm. Why? So that you're going to pay for it.
Yeah.
If it's a company, just go bankrupt. Certain things will allow you to go bankrupt and certain things will not allow you to go bankrupt. These are some of them. Mm-hmm. And now you can buy the courts. And then the courts can abuse the very laws that structured them in the first place. And those laws were not it. The ones that they're operating on. And they know it. A bit like the council tax that they take. That was supposed to come with a rule. That's how they manipulated everyone to pay it in the first place. It was supposed to be beneficial for them. And slowly but surely, they wonk it back. and then change the goalposts each time. No. And this is what you call an empire. And then if your kids ever never go the same road you go, you can tell them, I made the bed for you. And yet, it doesn't have to be that way. You can have a group of people that go around to try and uplift people. You can have groups of people that go around trying to find talent. Rather than sit there like fucking Simon Cowell waiting for the talent to come to you.
Yeah.
And there again, it's very derogative, isn't it? Now you go over there, jump through this hoop, and you'll be all right. If you don't, we're going to keep your songs forever. We're going to give them to a group that's going to sell them, even though they're fucking donkeys years old.
Yeah.
We're going to make that money, and all you're going to get is this a lot, but it's actually a little in the grand scheme of things now. We're going to play that song every single time we feel like it, and we own that song. Why? Well, because we went like this, did this, moved this, fucking made that. No, because if without us, you wouldn't be shit. How many of them have been told that? You'll never work on TV. You'll never get in the fucking music industry. Well, how do you know that? If it's based on talent, and it's authentic, and it's free, how do you know that person won't get there? Well, you must be in control of it then, mustn't you? And the ruse is just the one channel that everyone thinks that they own. We don't do advertising. That is so we can charge you to watch it. If they're charging you that much to watch it, how much do you reckon they're charging in the ad revenue? I mean, because if ads are really something that is successful, all of you companies, if you want to make me some clothes, every single fucking logo you can ever imagine, let's put it on. It's all right, I'll walk around with it. Let's see if advertising is the thing that sells your product or manipulation. Let's see which one works better. Manipulate a load of people by understanding their human behavior and everything else and manipulate them to buy your product. Or shall we just see if it's advertising alone? Because if it were everyone that were wearing all of these multi-logo clothing...
Yeah. And they don't.
What top you wearing? I'm wearing an Adidas, Nike, Under Armour-y type, you know, Sainsbury, Tesco-y, Morrison.gov-y, Tory versus Labour-y. I'll put the council across here. I got my council boxers on. Why is that? Sometimes I follow through and I like shit on shit. I'm sorry, I joke, I take it back. Sorry, yeah, and, you know, what else likes to take the piss in society? We can have them at the front of the boxes. I'm sorry. We could design toilets. Perfect. Who likes to take the piss in society? Other than me. But I think we should make a toilet with the fucking government on it. Well, you like taking the piss, don't you? So do toilets. Oh, come on, it would be funny, right? Having it in the shitter. But the problem is with that, it will take the piss, but it won't do anything about the shit. Why is it we're not flush? It takes all the liquids, but it takes the piss, but it just doesn't take the shit. Okay then, urinals. I don't mean it. I'm just having a laugh, but you might as well make the urinal with fucking all that .gov logo over it. And the council. It's a good job the taps have red and blue on it. What do you know what that makes me think of? A cop that's going to work and a cop that ain't. But rather than it being individual, which they don't, it's one person is too hot, one person's too cold. And they call that normal. And yet someone that's a bit of both, that is abnormal. Well, of course. In comparison it is. And have you been educated that? Right, yes you have. That means brainwashing then. come and learn this education over here. And if there are loads of us on this side eventually after time, we'll then call the ones that function on one side to the other side abnormal, and we'll call the ones that bounce between the two fucking normal. Now who's right? Both tests equal ticks, yeah? Depending on how many people we've got saying that it's okay. We had loads of people saying that racism was okay. Loads! Well, they just fucking grew up one day, go to school, and then figure that racism is alright, do they? And then the people in subject to racism then say that that's alright too. I know my place, I better walk it. That's fucking horrible. And that's educated, right? That's educated. That is governed and run and... Now, who made that? It just fell in. How did you get all that chocolate around your mouth? It fell on. Are you sure you weren't eating it? I never taught my finger to go anywhere near my mouth. So how did you get all the chocolate around your mush then? It fell on. We don't want to play this sort of fucking game. Oh, one more for you, right? Do you ever wonder why I think that things are run by a religious standpoint here? So governments were created because religions were doing a shit job, yeah? Isn't that how it transpires? People got sick and tired of the old narrative, and then atheism is born. But atheism isn't born, it's taught. Everything is taught. You're taught how to be, and whether it's wrong or right, you'll still be taught it. Just take a look at history, it's teaching you something. And then what about that? Women domination. Yeah. Who taught people that? Who taught people, women, to stay where they're told to, and who taught men that it was okay to be that way? You see, you think, oh, I don't know. You do.
It's so long time ago.
It's such a long time ago.
That.
Was it like it in religion, this?
Yeah, it comes from religion, I believe.
That is interesting. So why do we have religion and they collapsed and their schools disappeared? So how do you make people learn religious doctrine? Sunday school?
Yeah.
Church school?
Yeah.
Is it a chance that they're going to learn how to be churchgoers if they go into a church school?
Yeah, I think.
And you're going to be government goers if you go into a government school. Now come to a Terry school and it'll change your life. Right? But it's not... It may not ever be corrupted because the people that created it that way may have had good intentions, but it was then infiltrated by people with very bad intentions. So, let me put it another way. What if all religions managed to infiltrate the government at high places? They could fuck it up, couldn't they? Thanks for building it for me! Now, let me show you something, right? Mm-hmm. So we've got one nation. Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Now we've got another nation. And another nation. What's the same characteristics as religion do we have? So, if we had a religion here, and a religion here, a religion here, and a religion here, what's never going to happen?
What's never going to happen?
Well, maybe this religion will go somewhere here with this religion, and this one. And create a new one, right? Yeah. Never happened. What has happened throughout history? Egyptians. What's it called now? Pagan and evil. How many people worship the Egyptian tradition, the ancient Egyptian tradition today?
No one. No one knows it.
That's interesting. No one knows it. Hey, you are living in an empire where they know fucking everything. They know where humans came from. They know whether tea or coffee is good for you. They know that smoking is really good. Oh, wait, is it? We changing that? No, it's bad for you. We live in an empire that knows everything, yeah? It's right about everything. It's the biggest know-it-all ever whilst they say that I know everything. Not really. I'm willing to learn it. And I'm willing to contradict myself and become a hypocrite. Not because it's weak, although it's taught to be weak. It's actually strength. It's strength for you to question yourself. Oh, it shows that you're imbalanced, that you don't trust yourself. No, it shows that I trust myself enough to maneuver and find a way that actually truly resonates. There's a difference. And then if I'm wrong, I'll admit it. Let's go right in. I fucked up a lot in my life. I really have. You know, people are like, oh my God, you changed so much. You're such a hypocrite. You're such this. And then you meet someone else and they're like, you've changed. You used to be this when you were younger. Now you're this. I love you. You don't think I'm a hypocrite? No. No, I think you've changed. And you've changed me by changing. How did I do that? Because I can see you now. In two lights. Then you get with this particular person and then I change again. Woo! Now I fucking hate you. Look how bad your change is. And vice versa, if she was the same way, you know. Not because it's male or female, it's just because I'm male and that would be a female under this understanding. But it can work the other way around as well. You changed. Oh my God, I see you. It was so different back then. Oh, do you like this? I love the change. You don't think I'm just being a little bit of a hypocrite? No, of course I don't. And then you change again. You're a hypocrite! Have you ever been in that predicament? Some people think that you've changed for good. Some people think you're a hypocrite, traitor.
Yeah.
Yeah?
People say when you are a kid and then when they see you years later.
So we have a lot of barriers then, don't we?
Yeah.
Which I find very interesting. Still, it was a man's world.
Mm-hmm.
Wasn't it in religion? Some, not all, but most.
Yeah.
Any religion that goes to rise up, will they collapse it down? That means if a new government goes to rise up and just shows the world how it's done, do they attack it? Do they erode it? Do they knock it down? Do they deplete it?
Yeah, they want their religions usually.
Well, it's the same with religion then, yes? Mm-hmm. And it's the same with these certain governments. Do religions like things to be left exactly the same way, unchanged? And then do governments like that same behavior?
For themselves, yeah. But when it changes, it changes.
Do religions tell you not to ask questions? And you are to just listen?
Yeah, most of the time.
Did religions shadow ban people? And put them under house arrest and hide them from society?
Yeah, if they were...
Now, I've been under house arrest.
Yeah. Uncomfortable to the religion, yeah.
So schools and cops and everybody else in that and councils, this was all agreeable. Chairman and Ofstedians and... This is all agreed to put me out of... To push me out of society.
Yeah.
That's house arrest. Why? Because I was speaking up. Then they try and say, it's just not normal for you to be locked away like this. How did this ever happen? Can we examine your mind? It might be broken. You want a little tablet in there, do you? I think it could be your mind. How did you come this way? How did you get this way? Are you the same empire that have been taking notes all the way through of what you've been doing? Well, no, we admitted those ones. Well, that kind of makes sense. I'm a little bit with you on that one. But you create it and then you're like looking at the person like, what is wrong with you?
Yeah, what happened to you?
Is there? There must have been something. It's probably what you eat and...
Yeah.
It's not this society that did it. It's you. You manifested it. Right? You know what I mean? Here's a tablet. Try this one. It ain't working. Oh, again, that must be a you problem. Now the red one. It didn't work either. Now try the red and blue one. You know, someone used to offer me that, like, what pill would you take? I've never seen The Matrix, right? What pill would you take? The red one or the blue one? I take both. Half and half. But you can't do that. Well, I could. How do you know? If you've only been offering people a red one and a blue one. I would like half of both. One apparently means that you would be rich, and the other one means what? Sustenance in knowledge.
It was different in
Lifelong.
then.
Lifelong, yeah?
Yeah.
So one lets you live long, gaining wisdom, and the other one gives you a large amount of money, living short. Which one do you want? A life without money. Wisdom without money. Money without wisdom. Which one do you want? Which one do you... I would like both, please. Half and half. We'll do double drop, yeah? But you can't do that. You've never tested it. Clearly, because there's only two choices. I offer you a third choice. In fact, I could offer you a lot more than a third choice. Then what would you do with those two halves? Well, I'd put them together. And then I'd break them apart again. Into the gram ratio and cook it into a piece of bread. And I'd do the other side with a piece of bread of wealth and different things like that. And then I'd go and offer them out to people. Yeah. You want a bit of wisdom with a bit of cash? Eat this piece and it'll give you cash. Eat this piece and it will do this for you. What do you want? Red or the blue? Well, I know that you're going to make a stupid choice. Money without wisdom? Well, that's dangerous. Wisdom without money? And long life, which is wisdom. That is also interesting. Hey, God, which one would you like? Well, I'll live for a long time. All right. So you don't want it? Yeah, I'll have that one. All right. What about the money one? Nah, why not? I could make money if I wanted to make money. All right, then. Nah, God said fuck 'em. But yeah, in your mortal state, which pill would you want to take? Pick one. I pick both. And there ain't no need in being greedy now, is there? I only want a sheathing of this one. If it's a wonderful drug that taking it is going to cause over amount of wealth, then if I only take a percentage of it, it's still going to give wealth, just not as much. But enough to support you while you're on your journey of wisdom, living, gaining wisdom. Isn't that better? It's a third one. Now we could make a fourth one. What happens if I add 20% of this one and 10% of this one? Now what happens if I add 15%? See, now the possibilities start just from that two choices. I've turned this, but I sit here thinking about it. How would it work? And it's mythological, yeah? No, whatever. It's not real, yes? It's artificially put there, yes?
Yeah.
That you can take one pill or the other, yeah?
Yeah.
Only true thinkers will think. Will criticize it. And then understanding it, that it's about the quantity of the tablet. Well, you've got to take all of it. Man, people got really arsey with me when I said that. I broke their script. It was like a psychological test as well. And this tells that people backwardly looking at that, and I kind of knew it was a gamble for me to reveal something like that. Because it's a burst. I'm bursting to people. When someone asks you a question of what one do you want, it does a profile of who you are. Are you the dog person or are you the cat person? I don't know. If cat dog weren't about, I would have invented it. I'm a little bit of both. I'm part cat, part dog. Because there's a time for a dog and there's a time for a cat. Yes, but you got to pick one. Well, I can't because I'm a human. I could be all of these fucking things if I wanted to and more. I can act like a dog if I want. I can also act like a cat. I could also act like a fucking an ape fucking swinging through trees if I want to as well. Eating bananas and licking the hairs from certain leaves. Ooh, that's fixed my bellyache. Now I can eat the poison ones. I can act like a fish if I want to. I can sit there fucking acting like a duck. Most humans act like lions and peacocks.
Yeah.
Well, could you be a bird? Yeah, I reckon so. If I really want to, can I not dress myself up to fly like a bird? I could make myself aerodynamic, and I could. So could you. But you've just got to pick one or the other. Man, you've been walking around in a human vessel where you can be many different things that you want. Anything you want to be. Yes, but my education. Yeah. Your education expects you to be multi-lessonable when you leave school, but yet get the teachers to only be one subject, day in, day out, year in, year out. To be one fucking teacher. No, you are English. And you are French. So even in school, I was doing the numbers game. One, I called it a prison. This turned a few heads, probably didn't help very much. But they tried to then get you to elaborate on that. How does it feel like it? Well, it's surrounded by hard courts, big fences everywhere. You're told in rhythm to go here. You're told to shit when you are going to shit. You're told to piss when you are going to piss. And you are told that you will eat when you are going to eat. If you feel you need to go to the toilet, you will wait. If you feel that you are hungry, you will not eat. Could you imagine if parents did this? If parents did this, they'd have the social in. That's not right. Are you letting them eat when they want to eat? No, I thought I'd run it like a fucking school. So, you learn this. Then I started doing the numbers game as well, which was another one, which was, why do you expect me to learn all of these lessons? So that you can be smart, lad. Then are you smart? Well, yes, I am. Are you questioning me? Look how much I had to go through this. Yeah, that's what I'm on about. You had to go through this. What did you learn? How to be an English teacher. With all the greatest respect, do you know how to do science? But I've already done it, lad. Yeah, you've already done it, but it's not the question I asked. Then if it only made you one subject, then the chances of me being multi-subject by learning multiple subjects is not going to work, is it? Out. Well, what for? For arguing back, but you asked me the question. Don't ask me a question, then I answer it, then it's arguing back. I mean, you're more confusing than my mom. Some people are like, yeah, how many people? The brain boxes in the room, fucking on their little calculators, calculating how many humans have fucking, washed through schools, and all of them end up in one dead-end job. That's the prospect. And then I'm here to learn this, but every teacher here seems to be under the assumption, like any other teacher, is that we're all going to be in fucking factories. Which I've already worked in my summer holidays in factories. Then they start caging you in. Removing you from people. House arrest, right? This feels religious. Get on with your work. But this really does feel religious. Then you learn that because they teach it, and then you act it, then it's not normal, which actually is then telling me that you're saying that your behavior that you let happen was not normal. So you know you did something wrong. Difference is you just can't admit it, but you're trying to get me to admit to something. If your kids ever jump out of that net and have passions to go elsewhere, you made their beds. But you'll probably be convincing them that they made their own bed. Life's what you make it. No, it's not. Life is what you allow people to make it in a certain ratio. And then like, you should go to college and learn all of this shit. Why do I need to learn all of that pointless bullshit? Well, because then you can be really good at it, your science and everything else. This is going to help you. No, it isn't. I'm going to be taking a job from someone else that can do that. I don't need to do that. Somebody else will do it. I'm here in this science. I don't need to be taught it if I'm already doing it. But you do. You'll never make it with that attitude. Well, then I guess I won't make it then. See, it's about the attitude, but it's not about what you are capable of doing. It's about your behavior. It's about this. It's about you just will not bend the fucking knee. See? So it's got nothing to do with whether you are talented at something or not. Talented people all the time are shoved into small boxes and they spring out like Jack. Then they push people and they snap. Zero tolerance for behavior like this in this place. Why would anyone ever get like that with you if you're trying to help people? Truly, authentically. Shit me, churches, you might want to take a rule from this one. You better start putting zero tolerance for abusive behavior in your churches everywhere. Especially at confession and all of your schools when you're trying to help people. Has anyone ever snapped out at you inside a church? Because you were trying to help people? I'm going to say the answer is no. Yet these ones feel a need. Cops, zero tolerance. Abuse will not be.
That means that
But yet you can do the
way.
abuse yourself.
Yeah.
Under the impression that they never create abuse. But zero tolerance for abuse. We will not tolerate it for our staff. Our staff?
How about everyone who's there?
Yeah. What about the customers that get abused? We may terminate the call because I find you so offensive. Yeah, I find you offensive with this, this, and this. Beep, 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 beep. Then we got this thing called hate speech now, have we? The government are seriously considering hate speech as being something. Hang on a minute, I thought we live in a world where there is no hate. And why would people hate something that is so lovingly supportive of them? You do tell me that.
Yeah, why would
You
people
must be
hate
creating a
being
problem
helped? Yeah.
that is generating hate. And what is it for? And we've got people in this island that won't breed with anybody else from another background. And we've got people that are probably in that same situation there as well. How did you manage to make people breed with people in faraway lands back when we were claiming empire territory? Ah, fuck me, for a tribal group that is very tribalistic, this must be easy. Wasn't this what they were doing back in the day?
Yeah.
Breeding with the...
Yeah. But they had those people as entertainment, didn't they?
Which is kind of interesting to me. That is very interesting. Strangely interesting.
Yeah.
And you must go in those aeroplanes and fly away from the country. Go and take down Hitler, because if not, he will breed the men with your wives and children. Where did you learn that from? Well, what we were actually saying is we've done this for Ions. God forbid it ever happens here. He will put payloads on the end of those rockets.
No, it's more like he would take your land for himself.
He will make sure no Britons ever are left standing ever again. Why? Do leaders really hate the people? Other leaders of other nations, do they hate the people? Or do they look at them and think, they're inside cages, they don't know what they're really doing? If we break down the head of their nation, they'll be free. They'll find themselves. Do you ever think that that ever happens?
I'm not sure about that.
You don't think it does?
No. I think that they would bring there certain people as leaders, and they wouldn't probably harm the people who are already living there.
So because they only know a certain behavior then, a certain way to act. Because they know nothing else. Or they wouldn't believe it. They'd have to have faith, wouldn't they? And yet, if you went to their lands with their leaders that are there, and they'd be like, "You're not coming here." Well, put it this way, my friend. With all that power behind, doesn't want to flex itself, but touch us, and this is going to flex. It's going to flex so hard that there will be nothing left. Now, just let me just help your people. All right, then. You want to think of us like angels and demons, and we choose which one, per which time requires it. If necessary, we will rain down this fucking land. But we stand in the middle most of the time. And we're offering you this. Make your choice. Or we would like this. Oh, I thought so. And you watch them run away trying to scribble that. That's fucking brilliant. I love that. That was fucking just, oh my god. Gotta try this out. We are, yeah, I think it kind of runs in a pattern, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
You look at the universe's destruction at the end of it. You would think.
Mm-hmm.
But it gives birth to creation. That's longer lasting. So you know that you have to wind down the cycle to transform it.
Mm-hmm.
It's a choice that you don't want to do, but you can always kickstart things back off again. But you have to destroy it in order to make it so that they've got a platform to live. And at the right time. Too soon? Well, that doesn't work very well. Unless the ones who've traversed it, then they've learned a lot. New vessels? No, too soon. And it's sort of calming down a little bit and things are looking a little bit more... Okay, alright, starting to settle. Good. Now you will last for X amount of time, blah, blah. Yeah, patience of a saint, they say. I don't know about that. If I'd be waiting for God, it would be a long time, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Anyway, but do you think that if the people were to learn a certain new way of going, that they would then see it, feel it, experience it, and then want it? They could still be manipulated. Take here, for example. Because it's so slow. Do you think education is the key here? A correct education, one that is remembered.
Yeah, proper education.
Yeah, proper education
Whatever
that you
is
remember
needed.
of how it used to be.
What
And
is
how these
needed.
groups try and get their ways in, they don't come directly, it's too obvious. They worm their fucking ways in.
Yeah.
That's why they probably call themselves roots. But not because they're anchoring anything. But because it's the way that they can, very slyly get in and then expand. Interesting. Princess Diana, mate, it sticks out. It sticks out. She predicted her own fucking demise. Some of the things don't make sense. To be that pissed and to walk as straight as that. That doesn't make any sense at all. And again, it makes me reflect on my own life and other people's lives that I've seen where there's been a tall tale said about them. How the fuck would you know that? Well, because we investigated and found evidence or created a story and placed evidence. And some people will be like, oh, we don't want to teach people our tactics. We've got to hide them. Why? Because they might use them. Well, that's an admission of guilt. More like, we don't want to show them our tactics because people might see how easy it is to place these tactics down. And make it look. Interesting. Interesting. So yeah, debts follow you. Debts are profitable. Mental health, profitable. Because again, if they can ensnare you in a debt, but up your money. Sorry, I meant up your debt, up the ratio. It's not what you expect. It should be about for every piece there's another, but still, slowly, a few pence in there. We're going to be up in the fuel by 5 pence. Look how ridiculous you lot all are. Look how you're reacting. Look, we only added 5p. It's just 5 pence. And now add it across all your bills. Then add it across all of your rent. Then add it across everything else. Doesn't have to go up. That's a choice. Always goes up, but never goes down. That's weird, isn't it? Fucking hell. Even gravity shows you this. Well, if we throw it hard enough, that's what we're doing. We're just throwing it and then it starts floating out in space. That's what we're doing. That's why it never comes down. Yeah, and then we'd all rise together then, wouldn't we? We'd all become something. No, I see a life in reverse transition of all of this stuff. Reverse it all. Reverse it all. And we'll see mental health disappear, and then what will we lose? Psychologists? Psychotherapists? It's a boom industry, you've got to pay people to learn it. Then we've got marriage counsellors, that would disappear. When you learn all of this stuff in school of how to look after your children, social services goes. How to make your own medicine. And in fact, would you ever really need that much medicine? If they're creating people's mental health misery by doing these sort of things, and then they burden the NHS with it, you will deal with mental health. And everyone's like, oh my God, you're such a hero. But are you a hero, or are you trying to tip it beyond repair? You've created the mental health to then put onto the NHS. And you're going to dissolve benefits from the problems you've created. Oh man, don't take responsibility for much, do you?
No.
And then those old laws that safeguarded all people like this was nothing more than just a ruse just to create people to think that you're not like Nazi Germany, when in actual fact you've projected every single part of it. What you were saying that you were going after, you've become. Everything you've become. Space betterment, bringing in more resources? Nah. Weapons, mass destruction. Job security, longevity. Mental cages they've been liberated from. Then with these mental healths, what else can you do with it? Sorry, you're not the right person for the job application form. Do you have any mental health things that we need to be aware of? Or more like, do you have any mental health that we can target when we're done with you? That we can add to our ever-growing list of how we can warfare you? So given some of those tactics that they used on me back in the day, if I had a social worker and it weren't a corrupt person, would they have prevented them from doing what they did? Then we want to leave the EU because of those human rights, yeah? What human rights? Then we make drug manufacturers, again, so not only that, we can label you with a debt, here's Buckaroo. We can give you medication that you have to pay for. We can then do all of these things, and then we can kick you out and make you get a job. Then what are you? A slave. Then these types of things stop you progressing further. That person's mental, I wouldn't do that. That person's too old, I wouldn't. That person comes from, whispering in the ear. Oh, okay then. And it's not okay then. Perhaps they want to do more with these people, but yet they could lose their same. They've got more to lose, right? Think about it. If they've got a massive empire and they have to even take some of that shit, yes? That sneaky shit. And their empire being a big business or something like that. And they get targeted in the same way, what's that going to do? They're more exposed because they've got people that they need into the company, yes?
Yeah.
So can these people bring it down? Start scandals inside the company?
No.
You don't think they can? You don't think you can go and get a job with someone and if you have an agenda, you can bring down that company?
Yeah.
You don't think you can start scandals?
Sorry, I thought you meant the ones that...
Okay, so the ones at the top, what happens to them then if the company... Look at Richard Branson, man.
Yeah.
Where did all of his companies go? Well, he sold them for an island. Did he, though?
Only he knows.
Where did all those companies go?
Yeah. Gone.
How come there was no one rich enough to buy all of those companies from him? But yet there are people rich enough to buy all the council houses? There are people rich enough to buy the water companies, aeroplane companies, train companies. But no one rich enough to buy these companies. It's a bit weird, isn't it?
Yeah.
Oh, that company went bust. Such a shame. All the housing associations went bust. No one had enough money to buy them. Especially when we had £25. And then when they do own them, it starts going up 25 quid, 25 quid, 25 quid, 25 quid, 25 quid. And then call it affordable housing. You wouldn't need to say affordable housing if it wasn't. That's manipulation. Government scheme. Yeah, scheme. You got that right. What scheme? Scheming and scamming, yes?
Yeah.
Don't get caught out in scams. Too late! The council websites say, be careful of scams for this, that, and the other. There are certain council tax scams. Fuck me, you're flying close to the wind with that one, aren't you? So anyway, I'm just sitting there thinking, people are going to twig soon. Council tax scams. Are you not? Yeah, I thought that. I was, yeah. No one knows how much they're being scammed by the ones that are scamming. What are we going to do with all of this money? Should we put it in the community? Fuck that. What about you stick it in my bank account? A good idea. We could divide this amongst each other and give ourselves bonuses for doing shit all. Yeah, all right then. That sounds like a good idea. Wait, you just go over there and start saying they need more of this. Say that they need more of that. Just go and whine about it for a few months. And if you hear anyone else whinging, tell them to stop whinging. Because if you whinge, you must tell people not to whinge. You got to get in there first. Because then they will think you'll never whinge because you hate people that whinge. All right, let's leave that where it is. Let's leave it where it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.